Today's topic is behavior of conductor conductors in electric field. Is it audible to all? सुनाई दे रहा है? So behavior of conductor in electric field. What does it mean? First of all, it means whenever we place any metal inside the electric field, suppose we are having these plates, positively charged and negatively charged. Now there will be electric field, and what we do, we place the metal we place the metal in electric field. Now when we place any metal in electric field, then what happens, this electric field, it changes, and when this electric field changes, then what will be the behavior of this metal, or we can say that conductor? What will be the behavior? We are going to discuss this one. First behavior is this one. Whenever we place any conductor, for example here, this is the positive and this one is negative, and there will be electric field between the plates of the capacitor. Now what we do, I place here a conductor like this one. Now this type of conductor, it is placed in the electric field like this one. Therefore what will happen to the electric field or the conductor, this one? So here we are going to see this one. Now whenever this metal is placed in the electric field, then because of the induction, what will happen, this is a positively charged plate, it will acquire a negative charge, and this is a negatively charged plate, and therefore the side near to it will acquire positive charge. Therefore you can see that here the electric field is from positive, it is from positive plate to negative plate. This is the electric field outside the metal. But you can see that as the metal is placed here in the electric field, then it is polarized, it got polarized. So therefore you can see that the side which is near to the positive, it will acquire negative charge, and the side which is near to the negative, it will acquire positive charge. And because of the appearance of positive and negative charge, an electric field will develop in an opposite direction, and this is called electric field due to polarization. And here you can see that these electric field due to polarization and electric field which is applied externally, their directions are opposite. What does it mean? It means E naught is in opposite direction to that of EP. What is the EP? Electric field electric field due to polarization. And what is E naught? This is the electric field, या इसमें simply कह सकते हैं, this is externally applied electric field. So therefore you can see from this diagram that the E naught and EP, their directions are in opposite direction. What will happen if the magnitudes are equal? If E naught is equal to EP, then what will happen? They will what they will do? They will cancel each other. What they will do? They will cancel each other. And this happens in the case of a metal, because in the case of a metal or a conductor, what is there? There is large number of free charge. Large number of free charge matlab electrons. So therefore what will happen? Whenever any metal is placed, then whatever the electric field we have, this charge is there, positive charge is there, this is a positive charge, clear, and this positive charge equal to that one here, then negative charge will appear here on this side. As the negative charge will appear, so what will happen, the direction is already opposite, the magnitude EP and E naught, it become equal to each other because of the large number of free electrons. So therefore what will happen, these being equal and opposite, E naught is towards right, EP is towards my left, so therefore what will happen, as a whole inside a conductor, if this was a conductor and this was a conductor, then what will happen here, this was positively charged, this was negatively charged, and this was the metal. So therefore what will happen, the electric field will exist only outside the metal, clear, in this way and this way. This is the E naught, but here E net, which E net which is equal to E naught minus EP, it will become 0. So therefore this is the first property of this one, the behavior of metal. First property is that this one, electric field inside a metal is 0 when placed in uniform electric field. Therefore in this way, first property is that whenever any metal is placed, electric field will always be equal to 0. Is it clear? Any doubt? Any question? चलिए आगे. So therefore whenever we have to draw the diagram, then E net, it will always be equal to 0, provided this is a metal or a conductor. Only in this case, not in the other case. Now that we will discuss the second property. Second property, I think we have already discussed. What is that? The electric field at the surface, at the metal surface, is always perpendicular. There is a question, CBSE question was there. I think NCERT question is there, or the CBSE question is there. This one? No, this one. Now suppose the spherical object is placed and this one is metal. This is also a metal. Now here you can see if this is positively charged, this is negatively charged, positively charged, negatively charged, then electric lines of force will be like this one here, and they will come out from the metal surface like this one. We have discussed already why it is so. I will not repeat. What is this? This angle will always be 90 degree. याद है इलेक्ट्रिक लाइंस ऑफ फोर्स की प्रॉपर्टीज डिस्कस कितना सीगा? हेलो. So therefore second property is electric field at the metal surface is always perpendicular. It will, if the diagram is drawn like this one, then this diagram will be wrong. Why it will be wrong? Because this angle is not 90 degree. Clear? Sometime question is asked, this is any metal surface and this is a electric field, electric line of force is there, and this is a metal surface and this is the electric lines of force. Now which diagram is correct out of these two? If this is the E, bolo, which diagram is correct, A or B? चलो मैं C भी बना दूंगा. There is a C option also. This is the same metal sphere. This is the E. Now tell me which one is correct. A, B or C? Which one is correct? बोलो. Which one is correct? A, B or C? This one is right. These are wrong. Here in both the diagrams I have drawn the electric field inside the metal, but I have discussed in the first one electric field inside the metal is always 0, but here it is non-zero. I have drawn here, it is non-zero. I have drawn. These two diagrams are wrong and this diagram is correct because here electric field is 0. Second property which I am discussing here, it is also satisfied. It always leave or enter the metal surface perpendicularly. Here it is perpendicular. In all the cases second property is satisfied, but the first property is not satisfied in A and B. So therefore right answer is part C. समझ लग रही है? ठीक है. इसी तरह क्वेश्चन ਨੂੰ थोड़ा ਜਿਹਾ चेंज कर सकते हैं like this one. Suppose we are having metal surface, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੋਨੋਂ properties ਆ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ. Now this is the electric field line. Now it is passing through it one like this one. This is the E. Second is here electric field. Now this is the E. Third one is this one. This is the E. Clear? And fourth diagram is this is the E. Now which one is correct? A, B, C, D. E option, all are correct. Which one is correct? बोलो हूँ सही है. The answer C is the right answer. Now in this I have taken both the properties. Here electric field inside is, it should be 0 but it is non-zero, so therefore this answer is wrong. Here electric field inside the metal is 0, it is 0, it is right, but this angle is not 90 degree, so therefore this answer is wrong. In the D, both the properties are not satisfied. Both the properties, E should be 0, it is also not satisfied. It should be 90 degree, it is also not satisfied. So therefore A, B and C, these are wrong answer. But in this, the diagram C, both the properties are satisfied, means this angle is 90 degree and here also E is equal to 0. So therefore C is the right answer. So just like this one, the questions will be asked and your knowledge will be checked. और समझ लग गई? बोलो. Now we are going to discuss the property number 3. What is the property number 3? It is that the charge inside the conductor is 0 when it is placed in a electric field. Suppose this is any metal or a conductor which is placed inside the electric field. Now this is the, we can say that electric field like this one. I can draw the electric lines of forces and these are coming out. Now we know that inside the electric field, we have already discussed, we have spent 10 to 15 minutes, the E is equal to 0. As inside a metal E is equal to 0, and if I plot here, I consider here the Gaussian surface. दिखाई दे रहा है? This Gaussian surface, it should be very very close to the surface of the metal. So in that case, we know that according to Gauss's theorem, flux is equal to, which is equal to E dot ds, it must be equal to Q upon epsilon naught. यही होता ना? Now as we know that E is equal to 0, therefore phi, which is equal to E dot ds, it must be equal to 0. As flux is equal to 0, but flux is equal to Q upon epsilon naught, so therefore Q upon epsilon naught must be equal to 0, and this implies Q is equal to 0. So therefore when E is equal to 0 means here inside the conductor, when it is placed in electric field, no charge is present, charge is also zero, all charge is residing on the surface. Here, because electric lines of force are entering, there will be negative charge at the surface, and here the electric lines of forces are coming out, so therefore electric charge will be positive. But inside the metal, the charge will be equal to 0. This is the third property. Next one, we are going to discuss the fourth property. Fourth property is that the potential inside the conductor when placed in electric field is always, fill in the blanks. Now if I will draw the diagram again, if this is a metal and here in this case I will repeat diagram same again and again here, no need to repeat what I am drawing. समझ लग रही है ना? Now here E is equal to 0. Now as inside the conductor E is equal to 0, then what do you think V will be equal to? Potential क्या होएगा? 0 होएगा. We will find from this expression. What is the expression? We know E is equal to minus dV upon dr. Now as E is equal to 0, therefore dV upon dr must be equal to 0. It means dV is equal to 0. Now dV is equal to 0. What does it mean? It means change in potential is equal to 0. Now when the change in potential is 0, what does it mean? It means potential is equal to constant. So therefore this is the fourth property, is always, what should be there? Here should be constant. So V is equal to constant and it is not equal to 0. Next one is fifth property. Fifth property is that, now this one I will draw the diagram again. This is a conductor. Now it is placed in electric field. Same diagram. Now at the surface, what is the electric field strength? Now we are going to find this one just outside the surface, because we know that inside this metal electric field is 0, but just outside it, what will be the electric field? Let us consider a point P. Now to find the electric field at this point, I will consider a small surface, that is ds, represented by area vector ds, like this one. So this is what, now I will draw a cylindrical shape like this one. So what this will be? This is just like our Gaussian surface. What is this? This is Gaussian surface. So for this one, through this Gaussian surface, what is there? We will find the flux. Now we know that flux is equal to E dot ds. Through this small surface, what is it? Electric field is equal to, flux is equal to E dot ds. Clear? And also, according to Gauss's theorem, flux is equal to charge per unit, charge divided by permittivity. वो यही होता है. Clear? Now here if this one we say that sigma is the surface charge density, then sigma is surface charge density and this is equal to charge per unit area. So therefore, sorry, this is equal to charge per unit area. So therefore, from this one you can write down Q is equal to sigma into ds upon epsilon naught. Now this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Both represent the flux. This is the definition of flux. This comes from the Gauss's theorem. Therefore, from 1 and 2, what you will get? E dot ds, which is equal to sigma ds upon epsilon naught. Now E dot ds, now you can see that if electric field will be there, it will be always perpendicular. It will be always perpendicular. So therefore, angle between E and ds will be EDS. Cos of the angle between E and ds, angle between them will be 0. Therefore, sigma ds upon epsilon naught, cos 0 is 1, it will become EDS upon sigma ds upon epsilon naught, and ds will be cancelled out. So therefore, E will become sigma upon epsilon naught. So therefore, just outside the metal surface, the electric field is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, means it depends upon surface charge density. What is it? This E, it depends upon surface charge density. So if surface charge density is more, then electric field will be strong. If surface charge density is less, then electric field will be weak. So therefore, just outside the metal surface, electric field is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, and it will be always perpendicular to the metal surface. Clear? And next property is property number 6. What is the property number 6? Suppose we are having a metal sphere like this one, but in this metal sphere there is a cavity. What is this? This is a cavity. Cavity means empty from inside, just like the hollow from inside. Now if this is a positively charged, you can see that this is a positively charged. Clear? Then in this cavity, what will be E and what will be V? Now inside the cavity, here you please remember that E will be equal to 0, because when it is positively charged, this will be the negatively charged. Clear? And here in this case, E will be equal to 0 and V is equal to constant. That is what we have discussed earlier, and this property is used, this is very famous, and this is called electrostatic shielding. What we call it? A electrostatic shield. In the electrostatic shielding, what is there? We prevent our information or a data being disturbed from the outer electrical disturbances. You must have seen this one, what we call it, a cable wire. Cable does not mean wire. Cable means this one, dish TV, dish cable. A cable is there which is connected to the dish. Has anyone seen that cable? देखी है कभी? बोलो. Hello. That cable, this is the cable. If you have seen any cable, there is a single wire. Single wire ਹੁੰਦੀ ਤੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਦੀ ਤਾਂ. And this is single wire. Here it is protected with some coating plastic, and there is some outer coating, and here is some mesh. Mesh एक जाली type ਹੁੰਦੀ है, देखा होगा कभी ਤਾਂ. So this mesh is used. This mesh is used to save this electrical. Here is electrical signal. To save it, this electrical signal in the single cable from outer electrical disturbances. And therefore the same property is there. If you will see from here, किस तरह दिखाई देगी. This is the central cable, this is the its coating, and here is the mesh. Here is the mesh outside it, and this one is outer coating. So therefore here is the wire which carries the signal, and this is the mesh jali type hundi hai. It prevents the, if any electrical charges come here, then positive charge will reside only outside it, and inside it E will always remain 0. And in this way we prevent the disturbances to disturb electrical signal. याद करो मैं तेन क्वेश्चन पूछा सी एक बारी कि during lightning where you will want to stay, under a tree or inside a car, where it will be safe. आजकल बरसातां चल रही हैं है ना, की आंसर सीगा कार. तुसी पहले ट्री क्या सीगा. Under a tree it is very dangerous because it will act as a conducting cable. When the lightning will fall, the current will pass through this one, heavy current will pass, and if you are standing here, then you can suffer a shock. But whenever the lightning will fall on this car, then what will happen, that if the charge falls on the car, then it will reside only outside it, and inside E will remain 0, just like this one. Therefore it will be very very safe to stay in a car in the lightning, whereas it will be very dangerous to stay under the tree. So this is called electrostatic shielding. We shield the inside thing, although it may be, we can say that potential will be non-zero, but E being 0, so therefore we will feel here the same. So these are the properties what we have discussed here. Now I will repeat again. The first property was inside this one electric field is 0. This is the first property we discussed here. Electric field inside a metal is 0. Then second property is electric field in the metal surface is always perpendicular. Then third property was, this was a question related to it. Third property was charge inside the conductor is 0 when it is placed in electric field. Electric field is 0, charge is also 0. Then next property was that what is the potential? Potential is always constant inside the metal when it is placed in a uniform electric field. Then fifth property was that what is the inside, we know that electric field is 0, but just outside the metal, what will be the electric field? Electric field is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught. Then next property is in a cavity, here inside a cavity, what will be there? Electric field is always equal to 0 and potential is always equal to constant. So this is the what we have discussed here, the properties of the behavior of the metal when placed in a, what we call it, a electric field. Clear? combination of capacitors. You must have read capacitors can be combined into two ways: series, second one is parallel. Series combination and parallel. Now in the series and parallel combination, what is the difference? Now first of all, we will draw here the series combination. Now in the case of series combination, here if this is a one capacitor and it is connected to some, we can say that, battery, positive and negative, because plate A is connected to positive end, it will acquire positive charge, and plate B will acquire negative charge. Now if this is for C1 and C1 is connected to another capacitor, this one is C2. Now you can see that when this plate negative is connected to the one plate of capacitor C2, then this will acquire positive charge, and the positive and this negative will be equal to each other, and this will require negative charge. And if this is connected to another capacitor, say C3, then what will happen? It will acquire positive charge, and equal to it will acquire negative charge, and this process will go on, and the last capacitor its end will be connected to negative. So such type of combination is known as series combination, when the positive plate of one capacitor is connected to negative of the another, positive of the one is connected to negative of the another, positive of the one is connected to negative of the another. Such type of combination is called series combination. Any problem? समझ लग गई? And in the case of parallel combination, in the case of parallel combination, what is there? If we are having three capacitors, C1 and C2 and C3. Now if all the plates of the capacitor, they are combined together at a one common point, suppose these are connected to the positive of the battery, then all these plates of the capacitors will be positive, and negatives are joined together at a one common point, and that is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, then these plates will be all negative. So such type of combination is called parallel combination. I think now it is clear to you what is the series and what is the parallel combination. Now we are going to derive the expression for the capacity of the equivalent capacitance in the series and parallel combination. पहला कड़ा करना बोलो. Expression for equivalent capacitance in series combination. We will do the series combination first. In the series combination, what is there? This is a one capacitor, this is another capacitor, this is the third capacitor. You can connect so many capacitors, and for our simplicity we will take only three capacitors, C1, C2 and C3. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive and negative. So therefore we are having three capacitors connected to a potential difference of say V. Now in series combination, please keep in mind two things. Now I will go back. Now in this case, if this battery will send charge Q, then Q will reside at A, minus Q will appear A, and this minus Q will induce positive Q at the C2, and here the negative Q, and here negative Q will induce positive Q at C3, and here negative Q, and so on. Therefore what is there? In the case of series combination, Q remains same. Now let us see what will happen. Now if this battery sends charge Q, then at this point what will happen? Q will not move to all capacitor. To the C1, Q1 will move, to the C2, Q2 will move, and to the C3, Q3 will move, and it will got divided at this junction. Now it will divide in such a way that if we add all the charges, then what we will get? We will get the total charge sent by the battery. So therefore this is the special about parallel combination. Here the Q divides, but in the case of series combination, Q remains same. Now we are discussing here the series combination. So therefore here the Q will be same. Q will be same. Now the total potential is applied V. So therefore what will be divided? The potential will got divided. Let us suppose the potential across C1 is V1, and across C2 potential is V2, and across C3 potential is V3. Now it will divide in such a way that total potential is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Here Q remains same, V divides. Here V remains same, Q divide. Therefore these are the reverse of each other. You have to remember any one. So in the series combination, Q remains same. Now as V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3, so therefore you can see that we know the formula C is equal to Q upon V. C is equal to Q upon V. We will use this formula. So therefore V will be equal to Q upon C. From this expression, V will become Q upon C. By using this formula, we can write V1 will be equal to Q for this capacitor. Q is the same, but what is the potential? Potential is V1. Capacitance is C1. So therefore it will become Q upon C1. Similarly, for the second capacitor C2, potential is V2, Q is same, so therefore it will become Q upon C2. Similarly for third capacitor, capacitance is C3, potential is V3, therefore V3 will become Q upon C3. Clear? Now if C is the equivalent, I will draw the equivalent diagram. If instead of these three capacitors I use a single capacitor to the potential V so that there is no change in the circuit, then this capacitor is known as equivalent capacitance, and let us say its expression is CS. So therefore if the capacitor CS is used across the potential V, then we get the same result. So therefore for the CS potential is V, then we can write down V is equal to CS upon, now the charge here will remain the same, that is this charge is Q. Now for this one V will become Q upon CS. Now we are having all the values. What we are having? All the values. Here V is equal to Q upon Cs. V1 is equal to Q upon C1. V2 is equal to Q upon C2, and similarly V3 here Q upon C3. If we put all these values, then we will get what we will get. Formula was V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now V was equal to what? Q upon Cs. And what was V1? Q upon C1. What was V2? Q upon C2. What was V3? Q upon C3. Q upon Cs is equal to Q common C1, C2, C3. Q will be cancelled out. 1 upon Cs is equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. So therefore this is the expression for the equivalent capacitance of the capacitor when connected in series. Is it clear? Hello? Is it clear? Anyone listening? Now we are moving further, and last topic is for today is parallel combination. In the case of parallel combination, I will redraw the diagram. Now here the potential remains the same. You can draw the diagram in any way. Now potential is applied V, and here you can see that capacitance C1, capacitance C2, capacitance C3. Here the charge will divide Q1, Q2 and Q3. The net charge sent by the battery was Q. Clear? Now that these are in parallel combination, potential is same, that is V. And equivalent diagram can be drawn like this one. If instead of C1, C2, C3 in parallel combination, I use Cp, capacitor of capacitance Cp, such that there is no change in the circuit for potential V, Q remains same, then Cp will be known as equivalent to C1, C2 and C3 in parallel combination. Now we use the same formula, but we know, I will write here C is equal to Q upon V, so therefore Q is equal to Cv. I will use this formula. You can see that here I have find the value of Q, but here you must have seen that I have found the value of V. So therefore what is divided, we will put its value here. What is divided? Q is divided. How? Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. So therefore total charge is equal to sum of the charges Q1, Q2 and Q3. Now we will put the values of Q, Q1, Q2 and Q3. Now first of all, for this capacitor C1, using this formula, Q1 will be equal to C1 into V, because V is the same for all the capacitors. For the C2, Q2 will be equal to C2 into V, and for the third capacitor C3, Q3 will be equal to C3 into V. And from this equivalent diagram we can write down, and Q is equal to C into V. Now C is not C, C is the equivalent capacitance, that is we call it a Cp. Now if we put the values of this one, Q1, Q2 Q3 and Q in this equation, then we can get the answer. Now Q is equal to, what is the Q? Q is equal to CPV. And what is the Q1? C1V. What is the Q2? C2B. And what is Q3? C3V. Therefore CPV is equal to C1, C2, C3. V is common, we will take it out. V and V, this will be cancelled out. Clear? And therefore Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So therefore this is the expression for the capacitance in the equivalent capacitance in the parallel combination. So therefore please remember this formula. Formula number 1, equivalent capacitance in the case of parallel combination and equivalent capacitance in the case of series combination. Is it clear? Hello?